Welcome to HopeKids Online. Hey, do you know the show Sesame Street? Of course you do. It's been around a long time. I'll tell you how long it's been around. It's been long enough. I watched it when I was a kid. Well, there's a segment where Grover talks about near and far.
Near! This is far!
You get the general idea, right? Near, far. Near, far. Near, far. Today we're going to talk about how Jesus is near even when he seems far. I have a question for you to talk about with your family. Here it is. Who is far away that you wish was near? Who's far away right now that you wish was near? Take 30 seconds to talk about that with your family. Last week we talked about how Jesus had compassion on a large group of people. He taught them and fed them, and when he was done, he sent the crowds home and he went up into the hills by himself to pray. Today we're going to talk about what happened after that. I talked about this last year with the service where all the adults and the kids and everybody were together. Well, that service didn't get recorded, but I have a little clip of it of telling the same story from a camp I spoke at last year, and I thought I'd like to share that with you.
So, Jesus teaches the people, he feeds the people, and then he says, now you can go. And he goes to his disciples, he says, guys, hey, now I'm going to go, and I'm going to go off and be by myself. You guys get in the boat and go back across the shore. Go back to the other side, and I love that the Bible doesn't give us all the details on what just happens on here, because I don't know how that conversation completely went down, that at some point Jesus said, you guys leave, and the disciples are like, you rode in the boat with us, you want us to go back across the road, across the sea, how are you getting back? It says they waited there for a while, finally they said they realized he's not coming, and so they get in the boat and they head back. The disciples get out crossing this, and it takes a while. The Bible says that they're 4 miles out into this sea, okay? Is that lake 4 miles wide? No. These guys are 4 miles out, and they're not getting to the other side yet, okay? So this is a long way to go. So, now they're on this thing, and the Bible tells us they start getting into trouble. And the guys are like, what is going on? We are in trouble here. Here we go. This boat is in trouble. We have a problem here. The Bible tells us that Jesus, who is on this hillside, sees that they are in trouble. And how far out are they? 4 miles. They are 4 miles out into the sea, and guess what time of day it is? The Bible tells us, actually, just so you get this picture. 3 o'clock in the morning. So I love it that it just says it of course, Jesus sees them and says that they are struggling 4 miles away at 3 o'clock in the morning. He sees that they're struggling, and he starts walking towards them. I thought they took the boat. Yeah, he started walking on the water. Did you know that the story of Jesus walking on the water came right after the feeding of the 5,000, and that the story of Jesus walking on water came at 3 o'clock in the morning during a storm? So much for the coloring pages with Jesus walking on the still water with the sun shining, right? This is Jesus walking on waves that are going like this. I don't know if he walked up over the top of them or if he crushed right through them. I don't know. But that looks a little different than we pictured in our mind about Jesus walking on the water. Here he is, he's walking in the storm. Now, if you read all of the different Gospels, there's 4 different, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, all tell a little bit different pieces of this story. And when you read one of them, it mentions that Jesus walked out there and he intended to go past them. Well, as he was walking by, they see him, and they're like, "Wow, what is going on? I see something. There's a person out there. There's a person out there, and they are walking on the water. They're walking on the water. What is that going on? They can't do that. You know what it must be? It must be a ghost. There's a ghost out there." His first idea is that it's a ghost. It says the disciples looked and they saw that they looked like a ghost. Am I going to do that one? Just a second. Okay, thank you. So one guy, he may be just kind of more like you guys, like us. This one guy, "Hey, how you doing? Yeah, my name is Peter. I used to do a lot of fishing. You guys like to go fishing? I used to do a lot of fishing. But then Jesus told me to follow him, and so I decided I would follow him. But I was out there on this boat. I was out here on this boat, and I've been on a boat a lot. But I was out here on this boat, and I looked out there, and there was Jesus walking on the water, and I said, 'Jesus, if it's really you, let me come walk out there with you.' And you know what Jesus did? Jesus said, 'Come on.' And you know what I did? In the middle of that storm with my boat going like this, I took my leg and I went over the side of that boat. I went over the side of the boat. Hey! And when I put my foot down outside the boat on the water, my foot didn't splash through the water. I felt firmness. So I lifted my other leg and I took it out of the boat this way and I put it out on the water. And you know what I did? I walked on the water too. And I was walking out on the water out there towards Jesus, and I was like, "Look at me. I'm walking on the water." You guys ain't walking on the water. I'm 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 walking on water. You can't walk on water. You can't walk on water. You fish in the water. You know what happened? I started sinking. I started sinking down in that water. And I'm getting down, Lord, and I'm like, "Jesus, help me." And you know what Jesus did? Jesus reached his hand and he grabbed me and he pulled me back up, and then all of a sudden we were in the boat. And he saved me. He saved me out on that water. Amen. You're ready? All right, good deal. Some people come to camp ready.
Peter saw Jesus walking on the water and wanted to go out to him. Amazingly, Peter walked on the water out to Jesus. His only problem was he started looking at the waves and forgot that Jesus was near. Sometimes we forget as well. We forget that Jesus is right there with us. He said he would never leave us. Imagine what our life would be like if we remembered that. It would change everything. This week, try putting reminders everywhere that Jesus is with you. Build the habit of remembering. You will see fears and worries fade away, and you will make much better decisions. It will be awesome. Hey, have a great week, and we will see you again soon.